All right, I'm here with Matt Gorley. He's one of the creators of the Superego podcast, in addition to being a CSULB alumnus.
Proud CSU
Twice.
Not that I failed and didn't come back. 2 degrees. Yeah.
So your first degree was in theater.
They're not very diverse. Technical theater for my bachelor's,
theater?
and then performance and acting for my master's. Yeah. I overlapped. I was telling him that it was like I just wasn't ready to go into the real world, so I stuck around. They offered me a chance to overlap the last year of my bachelor's with the first year of my master's, so I went for it. Yeah.
So can you tell me where you got the idea for Superego?
Yes, it just began with my friend Jeremy and I, and he's my partner in the podcast, and we were, I believe we were drinking at a pub in Seal Beach, and by drinking we probably were drunk. I don't remember. That means we were drunk. No, and we were writing stuff on cocktail napkins and just felt like doing a project. Podcasts weren't very mainstream at this point, and it was like, I think it was like Christmas Eve or something too. Why should I be drunk on Christmas Eve? This is not going well. It wasn't Christmas Eve. It was St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
So we just thought the idea of a podcast, and we were originally just going to do these preacher characters and call it a godcast, but we thought that'd be too limiting, and so I thought of the term Superego, and it kind of had a perfect format that we could do any sketch and then just apply a personality disorder to it, and so it worked.
Why the psychology background to it?
Good question. Neither of us have a background in psychology. I'm really into science, but like I said, I thought it was just conceptually it worked really well, so we could do any character we want and just fit it into a personality disorder and totally justify it and just have a really loose framework, so we didn't have to spend a ton of time on the concept and we could just kind of get to the comedy and that sort of thing.
As far as the individual sketches go, you improvise everything? Do you go into it with a rough idea?
Yeah.
Or is it...
Yeah, usually the way it works now, we've taken on 2 more guys, Mark McConville, who was always on in some form or another, and Jeff Crocker, who's our video genius. And we kind of get together and say, I got this idea, all right, let's do this. We don't talk too much about it, and then we roll and completely improvise it. And then the goal is that I'll edit it down to something that seems polished and not improvised, even though it completely is. But you can always tell because we're always breaking and laughing, or you can't sit in a room with those 3 guys and not, it's called corpsing. It's an old comedic, I think it's a British term when you just can't stop laughing, Yeah.
Where do you get the inspiration for your characters? I know you've got a lot that are kind of recurring.
Yeah, that's a good question too. It's totally... Sometimes people we really meet, sometimes there's one character I do called Imogene who's just got like a computer voice. She's had some work done everywhere. Anyway, I was just messing around with GarageBand on Mac and found this voice transformer, and it just sounded like that to me, and I thought, all right, let's do that. Yeah, so many different places, yeah.
When you guys started out, did you have any sort of long-term goals for this, or it just seemed like a fun project?
Yeah, we didn't even have short-term goals. I think our only goal was to get it up and learn. I was learning about technical side of podcasting, and it was really frustrating at first. And we kind of got what we call the first season done, just for lack of a better name. And then that went really well. We took some time off. By the time we came back for the second season, we had started getting some real momentum. And recently we were featured on iTunes, and we've had Jason Sudeikis from Saturday Night Live on, and Steve Agee from the Sarah Silverman program, and it went from us sort of begging people to come on to people mentioning that they'd like to be on, and then it sort of became this thing, maybe there's a little word of mouth, and we were very thankful for that. And so now our goal is to keep trying to do what we did before, which is just have fun and enjoy it if it goes somewhere, and it's gotten us a little bit of work on the side too, and we ended up with a sponsor, which is really good. So it's all bonus. I don't even know how to explain where we would go with it.
How is it working with guests like Jason Sudeikis and Steve Agee?
Steve Agee's a friend of ours from way back. We did improv and comedy sports together, so that was just like hanging out. Sudeikis is a friend of Jeremy's, and I actually wasn't even there when they taped that. The sketch takes place in a car. It's also with Joe Latrulio from Reno 911 and Superbad. And Jeremy just knew he was going to be hanging out with him, so they both did improv together in Kansas, and Kansas City. Wait, it's Missouri. He'll kill me if it's Missouri. they did the improv together, and so they literally taped the sketch in a car on a laptop, and it sounds like it's recorded in a car. Luckily, the sketch takes place in a car, so yeah. I assume it was good. I wasn't there. I don't know.
In terms of like your future goals with this, is it something you want to keep pursuing, or something you see as kind of a springboard for something greater? Or where do you want to go with it?
I'd like to keep pursuing it. At this point, our goal is to just get each episode done each month. It's become a little bit more of a production as we've been taking it more seriously, and we never put anything into promotion before, and now we're trying to make a conscious effort to do that, which is good because it's paying off a bit. I think it'd be nice if it sprung somewhere, but I don't know if I have the stomach totally for that sort of world. If it were to go somewhere big, I don't expect it to, but if it did, it would be a bonus, and I think we'd try to have fun and ride it. But if it were something that became tough, boy, I'm confused by my own answer. I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I'm conflicted with that myself. I think each one of us would tell you something differently. I'm the one that's always a little bit more reserved about it. But I love what it is. My goal, I think, is to get what it is more widely known, because I really enjoy. It's a format, even though podcasting is really getting bigger, you don't find a lot of audio comedy that's improvised but also has a post-production edge to it. We haven't really found a lot of similar things, and so even though it may not be the most popular format, we've found a niche, and especially we get the most frequent comment we get was, I was commuting and I had it on, or I was running and I had it on, or something like that. It's not like people just listen to it like music or something, and so it does fill a bit of a niche, but we haven't exactly figured it out. We're still fine-tuning.
What, as far as professionally, is that what most of you want to be professional comedians or actors, or it's just kind of a side thing?
For me, it's a little of both. I think for most of us, I do some acting in commercials and stuff, and we all do various projects of improv or acting and stuff like that, but it's not any of our full-time jobs. Jeremy does a lot of performances, full-time work. I think we would welcome anything that came along, but I wouldn't say that we're the most ambitious out there guys. We have a lot of friends that really pound the pavement and try to break into that industry, and two of us live in Long Beach. Jeremy and I both have houses in Long Beach, and so that alone sort of, we have this feeling of we like to work with our friends and we like to work in that world, but we don't actively pursue, we don't live there. It's really good on the side for me anyway. Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell us?
Boy, I don't know. This is a very pleasant experience. I thought when I came in this room that I might be interrogated and beaten, but I'm glad to see that so far I've survived. And I wish you guys luck with what you're doing here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to mention. Oh, I should plug. You can get it on iTunes is the best place to get it, but our website is gosuperego.com. We have a new website coming soon. The podcast comes out once a month. It's about 20 minutes in length. You might recognize some people on it. It's pretty fun. Check it out.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, thanks.